Hello and welcome back to another episode of Into the 99, where we've got 99 cards, because Commander's number one. I am one of your hosts, Daniel. I am joined with both Brian and Sherman today. Brian, how you doing?
Oh, not bad after last night's games. Those were a lot of fun.
Yeah, we recorded fairly late, not as late as I wanted to, but I was so tired, such a sleepy boy. I ended up working the day before, but we still got lots of really good games in.
More decks to show you. I want to show you so much of a problem that a NIM is.
Oh, a NIM's awesome. A NIM in every form is a great one. And Sherman, how are you doing?
Doing good. Like that. Like Brian said, last night was fun. I'm excited to see what people have to say about your brother's deck.
Yeah, the deck tour was pretty interesting of that one. Hey.
Yeah. So it's like insane. Like every time I see it go off, I'm just like, oh my goodness. So
that was one of the hardest. I didn't keep a great hand, but yikes! Still, even if I had, that was a good deck.
The game that Daniel had.
Yeah. Spoilers, Brian. Maybe I won that game. You don't know.
You don't know me.
But we were originally going to do a different deck this week, and then I saw this one play last night, and I was like, well, we should do this one. This is a really cool deck. It's
it gave me flashbacks. It like gave me reoccurring nightmares, if you wish.
That's funny. It's like we were talking right at the end of the night and stuff, and the budget on this is phenomenal, because even if like it's Caesar is the new Fallout commander. Sherman really liked that one ever since he saw it. And even if this card came out and it's a $25 card and you can't find it, right, like $25, this would still be a phenomenally budget deck with that. Yep. It's budget right now sitting at $100.
See, and on Mox Field it says 85. So technically,
not 90
is.
Yeah, even on the Architect it says 90.52 without basic lands.
Yeah. So like even if you do, you're saving money on the rest of the deck. You can invest into the commander.
Yeah, but yeah, no, it's it was a really really cool deck. I'll let Sherman take the commander away, and he can give an intro to his train of thought, and then we'll get into it. Yeah, please.
Yeah, so we have here Caesar Legion's Emperor, which is Mardu. So it's a 1 with a red, white, and black. Human Soldier is a 4/4. So it has a really, really interesting ability, which I thought was fun, because it says, whenever you attack, you may sacrifice another creature. When you do, choose 2. So you can either create 2 1/1 red and white soldier creature tokens, which have haste and are tapped and attacking, which we didn't do in the game. So
they come in tapped and attacking.
That's different.
Yeah. So I only noticed that after, when I was going through it again.
Cheats.
So,
no, that would have made it worse.
That would have made it worse. So, but once again, this is like brand new, right? So, you can either do that, you can draw a card and lose 1 life, or Caesar deals damage equal to the number of creature tokens you control to target opponent. Right? So, my thought for this, was basically like the obvious things are obviously like tokens and aristocrats. So I'm like, okay, fine, but I don't like sacrificing my own stuff. Like I do, but I don't. So I just wanted to kind of take everyone else's stuff.
True.
Looking at this, it reminds me, the only thing I don't like, again, is that they're white soldiers. Please just say human, because then I would be putting my favorite of cats in this deck.
I have many things to say about this. So like number one, that's really cool, especially that it's not a non-token creature. You can sack any tokens. Once you have your first set of tokens, you can just continue to throw your own tokens away. You're in Ishan colors, so you can double that trigger up if you want to go that route. It has draw stapled into the commander in white, so gaining that life again is nothing, like throwing a Soul Sister in this deck or whatever. The bolt ability on token generation is nuts. Like every part of this is just a really cool, like from the fact that this person, from the fact that this is the inventor of like my favorite salad, up to like you draw a life, lose a card. You know, you mean to tell me this guy created that whole salad? while attacking me like this. Croutons and all. It's this was a really, really cool deck to see play. And it's a powerhouse. It's definitely got a lot stapled onto it.
Yeah, so like the key to this one is just the versatility. Okay, because like if you need more cards to take your opponent's creatures, you can sacrifice the tokens to get the card draw. Okay, if you're getting those cards to steal people's creatures, then you can create more soldiers and draw more cards. Draw into more stuff. And you just go from there, right? And then once you get like a bunch of tokens and everything, then you don't care. You can just bolt things down, and in the game, like I can just be like, okay, I'm attacking with your own creature, or I'm attacking with a 1/1. I don't care. I can attack someone else and just sacrifice it. I'm not really committing to the attack. I just want the sacrifice.
Yeah.
So
I don't like it because you're sacrificing my stuff. Just give it back to me, you monster. I said the only thing I dislike is that you're sacrificing my stuff, and I dislike it, and you're a monster.
Oh, I'm always a monster. You know that.
Yeah, this one played pretty cool. This is, like I said, I would have gone a totally different direction building it. So I really enjoyed seeing this one. Technically, we recorded 2 games with it.
Yeah, technically. But like it is fun. I would love to see other people's takes on it. And like I said, like like I would say I misplayed it. So I misplayed this, and I misplayed Merkel yesterday.
It's
so badly.
You can't keep up with the 700 new commanders and their abilities, like
Yeah.
It's
you gotta play them a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta play them a few times. Both times, both the Caesar and the Mirko, like were the first times I was playing those decks.
Yeah.
So that started off here.
Really quickly before that, the other thing I like is that it's a human soldier. Like that is, it's got like it's right up there in the best soldier commanders like available option and stuff. Even if you went like a full soldier tribal kind of deck, like this would be a powerhouse, right? Because soldier decks like with like Mural or anything like that generate so many tokens on their own, like Hero Bladehold, Leonin War Chief, like Hero of Cathold as I call it. Like all of those are all soldiers like that. This is like a monster soldier commander as well. So like there is, like you said, insane versatility with it. Like I really I underestimated this one during the spoilers when I looked at it, and seeing it play, I was like, this is a pretty cool one. It's one of the pre-con face ones, so I'm sure it's going to be a really interestingly built one. But I don't think it's going to be built like this.
Building the pre-cons very well.
I don't think they're building it like this, though. I'll tell you that right now.
No,
they're definitely not building it like this. They're going soldier tokens.
Oh, probably, yeah. Are we cracking right into artifacts?
No, stop us even before we get into there. Like you mentioned last time, what we should be doing is a good old pitch at the beginning. If you guys enjoy our content, please come join Thunder. Come be a patron. Join the few of our community here. Come and be a legend. And come listen to us live and get early access to our content. It's only $1 to $5. That's about it.
True. Also, like, share, and subscribe it, and give us good ratings, because it does actually help us out a lot. The more people, the higher the rating of the show, the more people are like, oh, these guys might know what they're talking about. We don't, but we still would like that rating. We'd still like that high rating so people see this nonsense. I love being corrected, so come tell me the right way to build decks.
There's still people going on about that that misplay. The comments that are coming in are so funny.
Seeing me be wrong about a rule, I think, is people's favorite thing. Whew.
They were like, he's so determined.
Whew. They didn't like that. Let me tell you, they didn't like it. I was wrong.
What's the rule? Like, if you walk in like you're owning the place, like no one bats an eye. If you call down a ruling and you're so confident in it, everyone just lets it slide.
Yeah, that's showing up.
That should be a new thing for us. Okay, like we should like go through and be like, okay, let's spot can anyone spot the misplay here?
I'll tell you, I spotted the misplay editing videos today when I swung that dog at Connor and couldn't sacrifice non-token artifacts with it. Let me tell you, that was a problem.
Oh yeah. Oh, that would have been good. So much fun if that did work.
That would have made me sad. Yeah, I know. Reading the card is difficult for me.
That's I've done this so many times. Recently was playing Ian Malcolm.
Yeah.
Didn't know that it was only during your turn. I had like Leyland Anticipation or something like Give Me's Flash.
You were just
I was
having
like,
a great time playing everything?
yeah, it was fantastic. I was like, I can't play my stuff, but it's allowing everybody to draw stuff.
My
So
card
I'm
pool's
cool.
insane right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And then I
Well,
reread it. I was like,
we'll crack into artifacts here. We've got our Arcane Signet 3-color deck that doesn't include green. We need it. 2 mana, you tap to add 1 mana of your commander's identity.
And then
sounds decent.
yeah, you'll notice I like ramp. So I have a Boris Signet in here next. So for 2 mana, you tap 1 and tap it to add a red and a white.
Personally, in these colors, this is exactly what I would be doing too.
You need ramp.
You need it because you're not in green.
Well, I think as well you want to get to that draw generation
You need 4.
Yeah, Sherman didn't want to throw his own creatures away, right? But those soldiers, I don't think Sherman cared about those soldiers at all.
No, didn't care.
Threw them into the fray.
Yeah, those are a sacrifice he's willing to make.
It takes once you get to turn 5, turns 1 through 4 are pure setup. Nothing but pure setup. Once you hit turn 5, you should be set up to start executing the plan.
Yeah. I also do want to say again, reading the commander, it's very similar to that Anim Pakal, where you're not held back by having to swing with the commander. You don't need this commander's like a true general where you don't need to like it's not doing the work. It's the grunts are out swinging, right? This is
need to put them in the danger.
Exactly. There's no risk of like the getting it blocked and killed. It's still 4/4. But yeah, like it's definitely a good one. So even if you have a creature and stuff, like if you've got creatures out turn 3 and this drops on turn 4 even and you're just on curve, you can start triggering this as early, right? But if you get a good, there's a real chance of getting like a Soul Ring Signet turn 2 this bad boy. Sheesh. All right, I'll stop talking about the commander now.
Lovely. That would be great. So the next card that we have here is Commander Sphere.
I thought you were saying it'd be great if I stopped talking about the commander. I was like, well, that's rude.
Daniel, I'm I'll never be that rude.
Comes from a place of
love. I even shied away from playing the Notion Thief after we.
I was like, all right, calm down, okay.
I could have. I probably would have won that if I actually did it and made my Italian 7-0. But sadly, it is now 6-1 due to shenanigans, like Daniel's shirt implies. Farva, what's that restaurant you love going to? Oh, okay. But yeah, we have the Commander Sphere, 3 colorless. Tap to add 1 mana color of any color, and you can sacrifice it to draw a card because we need even more draw.
The Greaves as well. I would definitely keep as an inclusion in the deck. This is going to be a removal target. If people are holding it, they're coming at your commander with it. It just does too much, too many modes that you don't have to really. There's literally not a bad one, so you can't leave that thing alone.
And it's making like even if like you get that out turn, so you, maybe turn 2 you end up playing the Lightning Greaves, and then so that way your commander comes out, has haste.
Yeah,
and then like you're able to get it right off the bat.
I don't run Greaves as much as I should, but it's because you can never find them.
Ogres has surplus right now.
Ogres does
2 additional pairs.
Ogres doesn't have 700.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true.
You know what I mean? It's they
don't have bulk.
Yeah, they don't have bulk Lightning Greaves. But yeah, for anyone who is never played a Lightning Greaves, maybe you're brand new. It's a 2 mana equipment. Equipped creature has haste and shroud. Equipped for 0. Easy peasy.
Beautiful.
And then we got a simple Mind Stone for 2 mana. Tap to add a colorless, or tap 1 and tap it. Sacrifice Mind Stone. Draw a card.
Then we have the Orzhov Signet, which is 2 colorless. Pay 1, tap it to add white and black. I personally don't play the Signets. I would prefer to put in talismans and lockets and clue stones and key runes.
Yeah, they're all good though. The signets are, as Magic goes more powerful, the signets are making a comeback in what you want, because it's a powerful opener to hit a Soul Ring Signet opener.
Yeah,
like it's feels good. You're in a great spot because even at 1 mana, then you're 1, 2 from the Soul Ring, and then up to 3. So you're 4 mana on turn 1 that way, on a very affordable play, on a $5 play.
That's very true.
Right.
Like I have them, but I just like I guess you can get a lot of the key runes and everything. So that's what I've just been playing. I guess Sherman gave me a lot.
I'm a big fan of the talismans and stuff in general, but like when you need something like this, the signets are definitely going to help fix you don't have green to go fetch your lands, right? Like you can't cultivate. So
I wish.
Yeah. We also have the Rakdos signet, same but with red black.
And then we got one of the key components of the deck for any deck that plays tokens, pretty much, or sacrifice. That's a skull clamp. So for one colorless, this equipment, equipped creature gets +1/-1. Whenever equipped creature dies, draw 2 cards and has an equip cost of 1.
Yeah.
So you're creating soldiers. You're creating 2 1/1 soldiers.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Sacrifice one of them.
Well, even if you sacrifice 2 of them, that means like you attack with something, throw something away. Like Sherman said, he likes to throw other people's things away.
That's true.
But yes, you do that, then you pay 2, you end up drawing 5, losing a life with your commander out. Like it's a monster ability. The Skull Clamp puts in so much work. It's a card that just endlessly needs a reprint. There's so many decks that need it.
Wow, I didn't even realize that's at not $10.
It's been that price for ages. It just never comes down.
Interesting.
They do have it reprinted in Fallout because they spoiled it.
But that'll just be in like the deck kind of thing, right?
Yeah, so and it's still going to be like $10.
It's this one's kind of like a doubling season. You can't print it down. Like a doubling season is never going to be $8, and a Skull Clamp is never going to be a 50-cent uncommon. Sadly.
Yeah.
Just don't say that because I just don't want them to go challenge accepted.
To be honest, this is one I would be happy if it tumbles in price. I play a lot of token decks.
Clamp. I thought you were talking about the doubling season. I was going to be like,
$8 doubling season. Well, it's the thing. You could print it down to $8, but you could never leave it in a case at $8.
Everyone would just play it.
It's the same thing. Like if you went to, let's say we go to the next face-to-face event and
we're printing staples, guys.
we find vendor number C. We're the first ones in, random vendor XYZ. And we go to XYZ card shop and they're like, hey, we have like, here's our damaged binder. We have 10 doubling seasons at $8. Are you waiting to see if other people want them, or are you taking every one at that price?
Taking every one.
I'm taking every one of them. I might even fist fight someone if they're trying to take them first. It's a profitable buy.
Black Friday.
Yeah.
We need to keep a camera on you. I want to watch some of this footage.
I'm in line just balling my fist up. Everyone, I see the camera crew. I'm like, I'm jumping people in the parking lot.
Jokes, guys, jokes.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Just cramp. Just a cramp. Yeah, no, that's like you know what I mean. That
dehydrated.
I have low blood sugar. I'm sorry. But yeah, no, like there's just some cards you can't print low. It's the same reason that like Arcane Signet is like never gonna sit at like a 25-cent common if they printed a common. Soul Ring's never gonna sit at 50 cents. I wish they did, and that there was infinite amounts of them, but you can't keep them in at that, right? Like even again, the talismans that we talk about, I don't think the signets are rares, are they? No, the signets are commons, and like they sit right now, they're down at like 40 cents. That's great, but you're never gonna sit and find like stacks of them like that, and that's with a recent reprint.
True.
Yeah. Also, we have a Soul Ring. I'll just take Soul Ring. It's in the deck. Next, go Brian, go.
We got the Swiftfoot boots, 2 colorless. Whoops. 2 colorless. You can tap it, or sorry, pay 1 to equip it, and then it gets hexproof and haste.
Yeah. Protection.
Yeah. And I'll just finish off the last 2 real fast here. So we have Talisman of Conviction. So for 2, you can tap it to add a colorless, or tap it, add a white or a red, and it deals 1 damage to you. And a Talisman of Hierarchy, which same thing. You can tap it for a colorless, or you can tap it for a white or a black, and it deals 1 damage to you.
I love the talisman artworks. They're all, as far as I know, most of them are done by the same person. This Lindsay look, but like that chessboard on the Hierarchy is just beautiful.
It's so nice.
I wish I had a nice chessboard like that. That'd be sick.
The engravings on it, yeah.
Yeah. Where do you want to go next? Do you want to hit your creatures or save them?
Creatures, because instants and sorceries are the key to
the bread and butter.
But creatures make a huge difference here.
Okay, well let's talk Annex, Hardened in the Forge. 1 double red. for a star 3 legendary enchantment creature demigod. Annex's power is equal to your devotion to red. Not really what we're using it for. Whenever Annex or another non-token creature you control dies, you create a 1/1 red creature token with it. This creature can't block. If the creature had 4 or greater, create 2. So another token generator, which is awesome.
Satyrs.
We're making
Name
satyrs.
the other creatures.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. We're gonna steal other people's stuff. We're gonna sacrifice it. So why not?
Yeah. And then next up we have here is Baird, Steward of Argiv. 2 and 2 white, legendary creature, human soldier, vigilance. Creatures can't attack you or planeswalkers you control unless their controller pays 1 for each of those creatures, and he is a 2/4.
Love it.
I have a Santa Claus version of him.
True.
Oh yeah.
That is a good one.
Okay. Then we got good old fashioned Blood Artist for a 1 and a black. It's a 0/1 vampire. Whenever Blood Artist or another creature dies, target player loses 1 life and you gain 1 life.
Yep.
So this thing does work.
You might as well just take the next card too there, Sherman, because that's the one that put in everything last night.
So we have the Butcher of Malachar.
Or the
So
Butcher
it's
of
a
the
5
Table.
black. So it's on the higher side for a CMC. Okay, Vampire Warrior, 5/4, has flying. Okay, whenever Butcher of Malachar or another creature you control dies, each opponent sacrifices a creature. So this
Buddy,
is one of
that
the opponents.
flavor text. His verdict is always guilty. His sentence, always death.
So the Butcher of Malachar, like you can put in like other things like Dictate of Erebos and whatnot, but I was trying to go for a budget deck because I like budget. Butcher is cheap because his CMC is so high. But you have to have something like this because if you're sacrificing things, you want to clear the board constantly so that you don't have to worry about other people being a threat to you.
It's the right call in a deck like this. Yeah. I hate Butcher every time it hits the field, but at its cost, I can't complain about it. You know what I mean? If someone's got a 7 mana, again, there's lots of ways to get it back. You can reanimate it, but you're losing 7 life for it, right? That's quite the trade-off, right? It's got flying. It's not a huge body. Like it's a 4. It dies just like everything else, right? No inherent protection. None of the ward 5 nonsense that they staple on every 2/2 vanilla creature right now. Like it's
If they reprinted this, it'd probably be like a 4 cost with ward 3 and sacrifice a creature.
Yeah, when it enters, it makes 6 vampires that all have tap to sacrifice. It's the Wizards design teams.
Wizards hire us. We got a great idea.
Yeah, they're nuts. But again, like you know what I mean? I hate Butcher, but Butcher when it hits, like it dies like everything else. It's fair magic, even if it hurts me in my soul.
Yeah. Like because I haven't been able to find the cards that you were mentioning there, Sherman. I think I might have to pick up the Butcher of Malachar for my Henry Wu deck.
Yeah, the exploit one, yeah.
Yeah, because I think I would have lived longer if I was helping clear the board as well, because that's what I was trying to do.
When you're sacrificing, if you can clear the board just by sacrificing, you're in a great spot, right? Like this, this Martyr's Bond, any of those things, like Martyr's Bond getting reprinted down cost wise is awesome as well. But like they're just really good cards in a deck where you're killing your own creatures. There's nothing else to say about it.
It's like so like sorry. The way I think of things like Butcher Malachar and Dictate of Erebos and stuff like that is just the fact that it is a board wipe on a stick. Okay.
Yep.
So I normally run more board wipes than what I have in this deck, but because I have the Butcher, the card draw is there. I'm not too afraid of getting to it eventually, and that's literally like just a board wipe almost on every single one of your turns at instant speed at times too.
True. Your deck is also pseudo board wiping with what it's doing, right? Like so, our next one's an example of that. Captivating Crew, 3 in a red for a 4/3 human pirate. You pay 3 in a red again. Its cost. Gain control of target creature an opponent controls until end of turn. Untap it. It gains haste until end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. Pretty good. Pretty great to steal. You can take the card, trigger your commander on the attack, and you throw their creature away, right? Like you're not really needing to run as many board wipes because you're using those creatures you're trying to kill as a resource.
And I wanted to mention on the butcher, like it's a really nice ability because it's the other opponents that are sacrificing it. So it does end up getting around the ward and all the other different types of protections. Because if you get them down to the one problematic creature that player has, they have to. Like there's no ands, ifs, or buts unless they're able to phase it, which did me in there. I'm pretty sure in one of the games. But yeah, like after the captivating crew, we got Corpse Knight. Corpse Knight is a white and a black zombie knight. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent loses 1 life. 2/2.
Yeah. Or 2/3 if you have the misprint.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't go by the errata. I go by what's on the card.
True.
All right.
This is a hard copy.
And then we have the Cruel Celebrate. So for a white and a black, it's a vampire, 1/2. Whenever Cruel Celebrate or another creature or planeswalker you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So once again, we're seeing aristocrats here going off.
Yep. Well, you're offsetting 2 of the life you're losing from your commander, right? Because if I'm playing this commander, I'm drawing every time. I love to draw.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say the next one is one of the cool Lord of the Rings ones, the Denethor Ruling Steward. 1 white, 1 black for a 2/4 human noble. Beginning of your end step, if a creature died under your control this turn, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. Everything we want to do. And pay 2, sack another creature. Each opponent loses a life and you gain a life. We've got tons of ramp in the form of rocks. So tons of ways to trigger this. And again, get all of your other death triggers off. And a sack outlet that's doing the Aristocrat's Drain is great. Could you imagine if Blood Artist just had like Viscera Seer sack ability on it?
Gross.
Right? Yuck.
the
experience
next version of it. Oh. No, like, because like you just get a new version of it. It's like, here's a new Blood Artist. It's a 3 mana, but it's like a 1/2, has Ward 4.
Their power creep stuff is nonsense. It's the reason we're talking about this so much, at least for me, is the new Cultivate that they printed, which is just like the 1 double green, acts exactly like a Cultivate where you go get a land to hand, land to field again. I've always said that's a fair effect of 3 mana. The 1 mana is fetched to your hand like the food cards or anything like that. And the 2 is Farseek. You get something to the field, blah, blah, blah. But then they just also stapled on that you can just sack a non-token creature and cast it. It's just a raw upgrade to Cultivate. There's no downside to run. Like if you only have a spot for a Cultivate, you obviously run this now because you have a free chat like that. Nonsense power creep. But I'll talk power creep's going to be another episode coming up soon.
It probably does need a new discussion.
I'm gonna assemble a council. We'll have a lot of guests on that one.
Yeah, it would be really good for
a round table.
Really good idea. Yes. Yeah. The next card that we have is my boy. We got Ellis Ilkor, Sadistic Pilgrim, white and black. A legendary creature, Phyrexian Core Cleric. Death Touch. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. Whenever another creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life, and he's a 2/2.
And then we have a fun card here. It's going to be Hoffrey Ghost Forge. For 3 and a red and a white, it's a Dwarf Cleric. It's a 4/5. Spirits you control get +1/+1 and have trample and haste. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, exile it. If you do, create a token that's a copy of that creature, except it's a spirit in addition to its other types, and has, when this creature leaves the battlefield, return the exile card to your graveyard. This card is fun because you're stealing someone else's creatures, they die, you get the spirits of that creature.
Yep. Phenomenal. And you're depriving their graveyard of it until it's dead.
Yeah. So it's like, hey, Brian, you have an Elder Norn. I'm going to steal that Elder Norn. I'm going to sacrifice the Elder Norn, and then I will keep it for now.
Yeah. It's you're double taking it hostage in this sense. It's a very cool inclusion. I've wanted to make a Hoffrey for a long time. Yeah, that's true. I don't want to go back.
Keep me.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that a lot. We've got this King of the Oathbreakers, 2, 1 white, 1 black for a 3/3 Spirit Noble. It has flying. Whenever it or another spirit you control becomes the target of a spell, it phases out. Easy. Whenever it or another spirit you control phases in, you create a tapped 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying. I like it.
It's fun. This one, in all honesty, you can take out just because we don't really have spirits. So I like throwing in like one-off combos. So this with Hoffrey is just fun.
True.
I was gonna say the 2 pairings is great.
Yeah, but like to get to it, it's difficult because like I don't have any tutors. I don't like to run tutors. So this is like in all my decks, I tend to put in some sort of one-off combo, and this is it.
I like it.
I really like that idea, actually. I like those 2 together. A legal pairing.
It's almost like secret commanders in a sense, or secret partner commanders.
True. Brian, the next one, please.
So the next one that we have here is Loyal Apprentice, 1 and a red, Human Artificer, Haste, with Lieutenant. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you control your commander, create a 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature token with flying. This token gains haste until end of turn, and it is a 2/1.
Once again, we just want that token generation.
Yep. Well, again, being able to sacrifice tokens is great.
Yeah. Then we got the Midnight Reaper for 2 and a black. It's a zombie knight. That's a 3/2. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, Midnight Reaper deals 1 damage to you, and you draw a card.
I like it. We have Regna. No Krav, though. No Krav. But I do love Regna. 5 and a white for a 4/4 angel that does partner with Krav, but that doesn't matter in here. Flying. At the beginning of each end step, if your team gained life this turn, you create 2 1/1 white warrior creature tokens. That's such a powerhouse. I love the token generation you get with Krav and Regna. That's actually one of the decks in my rework box right now because I just like that one so much, but it just kind of has been outpaced with the stuff, so it needed a little love.
It's one of the decks that I'm scared of with Sherman.
Yeah, Sherman's got a really cool Krav and Regna.
The next card that we have here is Solemn Simulacrum, 4 colorless, artifact creature golem. When Solemn Simulacrum enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a basic land card. Put that card onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library. And then when Solemn dies, you may draw a card, and it's a 2/2. Really good fetch and draw, because you're sacrificing. He's not really good for much, other than blocking, maybe.
And then I'm going to take the next 2 because you tend to see them paired up together anyways. It's going to be the Soul Sisters. We got the Soul Warden, 4 a white, Human Cleric. It's a 1/1. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life. And then we have its sister, Soul Attendant. For a white, 1/1. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life. So we just need that life gain just to offset most of our card draw, because once again, most of our card draw is like you lose a life, you draw a card.
I love the Soul Attendant and Soul Warden. Soul Warden's like one of the cards I always played with ever since like finding Magic.
The Soul Attendant is literally me in the Sophia game. In truth, her own face was gone, trodden in Ulamog's wake. She pantomimed the blessing in the hope that it would inspire others to continue their struggle. I tried. I tried that game, I'll tell you that much. We end our creature section off here with
Had the dog in you.
I did have that dog in me. You got to believe me. We have Zulaport Cutthroat, 1 and a black for a 1/1 human rogue ally. When it or another creature you control dies, each opponent loses a life and you gain a life. Yeah. I like this creature section.
The next one we're going to touch on enchantments here.
I like this one.
If you like it, you can take it away, Brian.
Sure, I'll grab this one. So we have Bastion of Remembrance, 2 and a black. When Bastion of Remembrance enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. Whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life.
Fantastic.
I think that's originally a Coria, right?
Yeah, originally Ikoria.
I was going to say that's
the cat.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite like Ikoria cards that came out. It was really good. Mao. Yeah, that's
a strong card. Like, I'm surprised it's not higher priced.
Because it was an instant slot into all aristocrats.
Well, and it's token generating for you. It does a lot.
Ooh. Lives taken are lives not easily forgotten.
I've got to take the next one because I love it. We have the Call for Unity. 3 double white for an enchantment with Revolt, one of my favorite mechanics that I'd love to see have them come back with. At the beginning of your end step, if a permanent you controlled left the battlefield this turn, put a Unity counter on it, which, again, this is triggering a lot in this deck. creatures you control get 1/1 for each unity counter on call for unity. That's pretty wild because we found out today that those creatures come in tapped and attacking. And with enough call for unity counters, that really, really hits like a truck. Like, like that's the commander swing could be swinging in at 10 of just these throwaway tokens. Gross.
You hit me for 21 commander damage.
I wouldn't do that.
Have flashbacks.
I wouldn't do that.
Unblockable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unblockable gives, unblockable
like,
takes.
Commander damage is never important. I was like, you guys don't know.
That was a fantastic game. That was.
I have a weird question about that. Alrund as the one side of it, and then Haka's the Raven on the other side. If I hit you with like 15 damage from Haka, like the Raven, I just keep ravening you, and then I cast Alrund and I hit you for the other 6 damage I need. Are they the same commander because they're a flip card?
I think it would be different names.
I don't know. If someone knows, let me know in the comment section. I'd like to figure that out.
Judge.
Judge. I had fun playing the Alrund deck a lot.
Maybe Thunder notes. Thunder's in the chat. Thunder. To pass your knowledge upon, if you know.
True.
Okay, next card we have here. Oh, hang on. Let's wait for.
He's typing.
Oh, I'm wondering. So Alrund is a flip god. So if you hit them with the flip god and like the flip god and the Raven, is it the same commander damage? Because they're the same card, even though they're separate creatures.
Different forms.
Yeah, your commander is always the creature. Like if Brian takes my commander is that creature. So Haka on one side is the creature.
And then Alrund on the other side's another creature.
Yeah, I'm interested in that. I should I'll ask Connor later today too.
That was good. That was a good question.
Well, we'll wait for Thunder's answer here because I don't know how long it'll take. Oh, hang on. I believe it's still commander damage.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
Can you kill someone like that? Like if he did 15 damage with Elrond and like another 10 damage with the Raven, does that count as like over 21 damage?
I think it would because it's the same. It's the same card, right? Like your commander is the tangible card.
Yeah, that's definitely interesting.
Because even if you like your commander's not the creature, right? Your commander's the card. If you like Oko my elk, or like my commander into an elk, it's still my commander. You can still die 2 commander damage from that elk.
That's true.
Yep.
So I think so. But yes, let's jump back into this one. But I'm gonna answer that one later.
Okay.
So it's my card or Sherman's card?
Yeah, let Sherman take it.
Next one is Feast of the Vicious Dead for a white and a black. At the beginning of your end step, if one or more creatures died this turn, you gain that much life and distribute that many +1/+1 counters among creatures you control.
Fantastic.
Victorious Dead, sorry.
This is a really, really fun card. Like for such a low cost, it has such a high gain for this.
Yeah.
And then we got the Ghostly Prison, 2 and a white. Creatures can't attack you unless their controller pays 2 for each creature they control that's attacking you.
Love it. We have this Goblin Bombardment as well, a great sack outlet, no cost needed. 1 and a red, sack a creature, 1 damage to any target. That's really good in a sacrifice deck. It's pretty good.
And the last enchantment we have is Hidden Stockpile. It's all white and a black. Has Revolt. At the beginning of your end step, if a permanent you control left the battlefield this turn, create a 1/1 colorless servo artifact creature token. And you can pay 1 and sacrifice the creature to scry 1.
It's a great card.
So I have to thank Daniel for this one because I totally forgot to ask for it at the LGS, and he pulled it out of a deck for me.
Yeah, the Minthara.
Such a nice Daniel.
It's well, Sherman brought me some Soul Rigs, so I would say Sherman was a bit nicer. But yeah, no, the hidden. I like I said, I love the mechanic of Revolt. It's such a cool mechanic.
Like Revolt is really, really useful in this deck just because you are losing things. So, but we are gonna skip the lands because lands are just nothing really special.
Okay.
So,
do you want your instants or your sorceries first?
Let's go with instants first and then sorceries.
All right. Brian, take us away.
Alrighty then. So we are going to head on over, and we're starting off with a act of aggression. 3 and 2 Phyrexian red. Gain control of target creature an opponent controls until end of turn. Untap that creature. It gains haste until end of turn. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I could imagine. The instant speed, especially when you have so many sack outlets, is scary. Yeah. We have this Bolt Bend as well. 3 and a red. It costs 3 less if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, which is our commander. Changes the target of a target or ability with a single target.
Huh.
Nice and simple.
I like that term.
I think that's Ral Zarek bolting Zombie Kefnet in the artwork. Like I said, I never really get to see these cards up close and personal like this. Like you really, when we're going over them like this, you get to see this. But I'm pretty sure that's Zombie Kefnet getting lightning bolted by Ral Zarek.
Yeah, because that was from Warrior Spark.
Yeah, so I think that's what's going on. Give him everything you've got and some things you don't. Man, I loved that whole arc.
That was such a good storyline.
That was the last good storyline. Ooh, don't get me started. Don't get me started. Okay.
We got Call the Copper Coats for 2 and a white. It has Strive, which is this spell costs 1 and a white more to cast for each target beyond the first. And it has choose any number of target opponents. Create X 1/1 white human soldier creature tokens where X is the number of creatures those opponents control. Now, I know this is also another weird add to the deck, because since we're trying to control how many creatures everyone has, you are going to have the occasional person that will have like 5 or 10 creatures out because they're just generating way more than you can deal with.
Or like a runaway Scoot Swarm deck.
Yeah. So
Gross.
This is one way that you can kind of catch up a little bit just to like block everything. And with all of your life gain and aristocrats, you can hopefully drain them as well.
Yeah.
That's pretty fair.
I got this one. We've got a D-Spark, 1 white, 1 black, instant, exile target permanent with mana value 4 or greater. Yep.
I think someone got disparked yesterday, though. The next card... that makes sense. The next card, though, is Disenchant, 1 and a white, destroy target artifact or enchantment. I don't see this too often.
I like throwing in the classics.
Oh, that's great. It's a great card.
We have Forsake the Worldly for 2 and a white. It's exile target artifact or enchantment and has cycle 2.
Yeah.
I may pick some of these up because exile's a very strong ability to remove something for good.
Well, and again, worst case draw as well.
Yeah. I find that the more the game goes, the more exile is almost something that you must put in. Like you know how like we already saying like you need like certain amount of ramp, certain amount of card draw, blah blah blah. At this point in time, you need a certain amount of exile cards just because there's so much indestructible going around. It's getting crazy.
Yep.
Need emblem removal soon.
We might see that because there's not as much Planeswalker stuff going on now, right? The Omen Path thing, like I said, it's been an interesting arc without the Planeswalkers. I think it's going to be better for the story overall. It's just so disjointed. But I did see artwork I like for a new plane, so we'll see how I feel. We'll talk at length about that one. At length. But yeah, no, this Forsake the Worldly is pretty crazy. Generous Gifts, again, one of the best like removals in the color. 2 and a white, destroy target permanent as controller creates a 3/3 green elephant. Yep. The best presents are impossible to regift. Love it.
And then we got Helioid's Intervention, X and 2 white. Choose one. Destroy X target artifacts and or enchantments. Or target player gains twice X life. I bring a dawn that no night can follow.
And then we got your classic Mortify for 1 and a white and a black. Destroy target creature or enchantment. You don't really see Mortify anymore.
I love to run it. It's just such a good. You need that destruction, right? You got to have creature removal. The Butcher of Malachor, I would have loved to be holding one of these bad boys, but the enchantment as well stapled onto it. It's just so good. We've also got Path to Exile, again another great one. Exile target creature, its controller search for a basic, put that card on the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. Great.
And then we got Supernatural Stamina. 1 black until end of turn. Target creature gains +2/+0 and gains when this creature dies, return to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control. Great recursion.
I'm going to be real. I like the amount of Amonkhet flavor you got in this deck. There's a whole lot of Amonkhet stuff going on, and I'm about it. That's all I had to say.
He's a real fan.
It was a set that like I came back to, right? So I have a, I like the flavor from it.
Oh, so good.
So we can talk about Egypt again. Second highest debt to the World Bank. Oh man, what's wrong with me? We have Vona's Hunger for 2 and a black. It has Ascend. So if you control 10 or more permanents, you get the city's blessing for the rest of the game. Each opponent sacrifices a creature. If you have the city's blessing, instead, each opponent sacrifices half the creatures he or she controls rounded up.
It's gross. It's a really good instant.
So you're board wiping, yet you're not board wiping.
I feel like I haven't seen this at all.
I run this in a lot of annoying decks.
And that's the key. It's annoying.
Yeah.
Because it's an instant speed, like partial board removal.
I'm going to have to find me one of those.
Having to sack half your creatures is a big deal. No matter the number of creatures, like from 5 creatures to 500. Like, it's rough.
All of my sapperlings.
My Scootswarps, no.
The fun thing with Vona's Hunger, like I do this a lot with this and Harsh Justice. So Harsh Justice is not in this deck because it's in another deck, but it's a 2 and a white. It's an instant speed, even though they misprinted it as a sorcery. And basically, like all the damage that you take, the person that attacked you takes as well.
Yep.
But what I like to do is like I like to taunt people, saying like, because I'm like, okay, you can swing out, you can kill me. I like to see you try. Come on, do it. And like most people, they don't think that you would like. They might think like, oh, you have a fog, whatever. But most of the time, they fall for it and they swing in. With Vona's Hunger, like if they swing in with other creatures just cause, then you're reducing half of them just out of nowhere. You will survive the attack.
In all honesty, I thought my green instant, like everybody sacrifices a artifact or enchantment, was rough. It's
a good one.
This is worse.
I was also going to say as well, speaking of sacrificing half your things, you're not allowed to ever put a Scoot Swarm into that Galadriel deck. Geneva Conventions against that. The amount of land you had with that. I saw that one. I saw Sherman's that budget one too play yesterday. Woo, buddy, he can't have those. Take those away from him.
Oh yeah. If bring all those lands in.
Yeah, I saw them get 13 lands in a row. What's that about? What kind of nonsense is going on there?
What's that about?
What kind of ramp nonsense was that? We'll jump into the last section here. Again, your sorcery. I love how crazy budget this deck is. It was a really strong deck. I said yesterday that this might be like one of the strongest budget decks I've ever seen. It's mean. It's a mean budget deck. We start with the sorcery section, an act of treason. 2 and a red. Gain control of target creature until end of turn. Untap it. It gains haste. Yep.
That's your face in that game yesterday.
I really quickly. I've been harping on flavor text a lot because I like them, but just the flavor text of how Sherman's playing this deck is seen through Rakdos Eye. Cruel Betrayal is a hilarious stunt. Yeah, it's true. Where's the lie?
I don't think any truer words have been said. Then we have Bloody Betrayal, 2 and a red. Gain control of target creature until end of turn. Untap that creature. It gains haste until end of turn. Create a blood token, which is pay 1, tap it, discard a card, sacrifice this artifact to draw a card.
And then we have Bond of Discipline for 4 and a white. Tap all creatures your opponents control. Creatures you control gain lifelink until end of turn.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. When I was playing Hilda, I really got into these tap all creatures and stuff. I love these cards. It's just a game ender.
Daniel, please read this flavor text.
We agree that order benefits everyone, but not until you enforce it. It's true. I love all of these. I played one yesterday, the Deluge one, where you tap all creatures without flying. I love the mass tap. It comes out of nowhere. And 5 mana in this deck isn't going to be anything crazy. Like, this is a phenomenal game ender.
Yep.
Clears all obstacles out of the way if you don't have another one. We also have this Claim the Firstborn. 1 red, gain control of target creature with CMC 3 or less until end of turn, untap it, against haste. That's going to hit a lot of commanders these days.
Yeah. That's the one thing. I was like, when we were playing in one of our games and I dropped the Subjugate the Hobbits, I was like, oh, non-commander. Shucks.
Yeah. Well, this
Murko would have been fantastic.
Yeah, Murko is great. Is Talion not also?
Talion's 4.
Okay, all right. You keep your Talion for now, but there's a lot of commanders coming out of 3 CMC.
Yep. Oh, your schizophrenic bush guy.
Yeah, cost. I love the schizophrenic bush guy. He's pretty cool. He's a pretty cool guy.
He just hangs out my
yeah, him and the voices. Yeah, Brian, you take the next one, please.
The next one that we have here is Damnable Pact. X and 2 black. Target player draws X cards and loses X life. Sherman, you don't need to draw anymore.
Yes, I do. There's not enough card draw in this deck. I'm not in blue. It hurts.
True.
Okay, we have a Faithless Looting for a red. Draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards, and it has a flashback of 2 in a red.
I'm really happy to see that. It's not the terrible artwork.
Right.
We always talk about that stupid artwork every time we come to a Faithless Looting.
Actually,
I've stopped playing Faithless Looting because of how much I don't like that artwork. I'll tell you that right now. I do absolutely love this. This is the funniest thing because it's not fun to get your cards taken from you. It's annoying, kind of. And if somebody goat naps it instead, that's hilarious. You know, how can you be salty when someone's like, I will goat nap your Ulamog? Goat nap is just hilarious. 2 and a red. Gain control of target creature until end of turn. Untap it. It gains haste. If that creature is a goat, it also gets +3/+0. Hilarious.
That'd be great if you gain control and you have Masquid Nexus. It is a goat.
Or you take someone's Morophon.
Yes. Then we have, what one is this? Carry Zev's Experience. 1 and 2 red.
Expertise.
Gain control of target creature or vehicle until end of turn. Untap it. Gains haste until end of turn. You may cast a card with converted mana cost 2 or less from your hand without paying its mana cost. I was made for this.
Yeah,
made for this, guys.
For audio listeners, Carry Zev's Expertise.
What did I say?
You said experience.
Whoops.
Just if people are looking up the cards.
Yes. Expertise. My bad.
Carry Zev's Expropriation.
That card's I don't like that.
I like
that's
it
so much for 3.
vehicles.
Yeah.
True. All right.
Next we have is Mark of Mutiny for 2 in a red. Gain control of target creature until end of turn. Put a +1/+1 counter on it and untap it. That creature gains haste until end of turn.
Yep. That's I like the amount of theft you have. I hate the next card. It's brutal.
Ooh, I love it.
Oh, it's so when this resolves, it hurts me deeply. Mythos of Snapdax, 2 double red. Each player chooses an artifact, creature, enchantment, and planeswalker from among the non-permanents they control, then sacks the rest. If Rakdos was paid to cast it, you choose the permanents for each player instead. That's brutal.
Boom shakalaka, yeah.
The only thing it's missing is lands.
Oh, then it would not be a dollar card.
Hey, but if anyone's playing those planeswalkers or any abilities that mix your lands into creatures,
it's a really cool. It's a very rough wipe.
It is,
and it's sacrifice.
Yeah,
all right.
I always see it every time I see it. I play with degenerates, so I always see this paired with like a Teferi's Protection. I will Mythos of Snapdax, Teferi's Protection in response, and then you choose what you're wiping and lose nothing. I play with monsters.
No. Teferi's Protection is like a third of the price of this deck.
That's true, already. Yeah. We don't need any Teferi's Protection in this.
That's not where we're going. Then we have Price of Loyalty, which is 2 in a red. Gain control of target creature until end of turn. Untap that creature. It gains haste until end of turn. If mana from a treasure was spent to cast the spell, that creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn.
Again, I love this flavor text. The most folks got Mayhem in their hearts, just got another price. But this is also, the artwork is just like basically every D&D campaign where you've befriended a goblin.
So true.
I did that.
Yeah, it's what I'm saying. It's every one of them. We have a read the bones here. 2 and a black. You scry 2, draw 2, lose 2 life. I like that card. It's
Nice.
good, clean fun. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we have Sign in Blood for black. Target creature draws 2 cards and loses 2 life.
Little agonies pave the way to greater power. Some of these flavor texts are great. Then we have Threaten. This is Daniel, please, you should be taking this card.
Let me jump in on this one. This is how I politics everything. Everything is Threaten. 2 and a red, untap target creature, gain control of it. That creature gains haste until its turn. I love it. It's classic on theme.
Right to take that card.
Yeah, that's fun. I really like the artwork on this, actually.
His branding, yeah.
Yeah, it's just very cool. It's just very nicely drawn.
Then we got Victimize, 2 and a black. Choose 2 target creature cards in your graveyard. Sacrifice a creature. If you do, return the chosen cards to the battlefield tapped.
That was me yesterday. I was victimized by that butcher. I was victimized personally by Butcher of Malachor.
And all of the Eldrazi's.
That's wiped from my mind. The eldritch horrors cannot be contained in my brain, in my feeble mind. Oh, it was a fun night. Fun night of games. Finish us off, please.
Yeah, our last card here. Wrangle for 1 in a red. Gain control of target creature with power 4 or less until end of turn. Untap that creature. It gains haste until end of turn.
Yeah.
So that's going to hit a lot of commanders.
The flavor text is Daniel.
Gremlins are loyal to nothing but their next meal. I don't eat that much, though. I eat like once a day.
Same, actually.
Yeah. I should eat more. Yeah, that's it. There's no follow-up on that. I just should eat more often. I'm a hungry boy. Yeah, no, I really liked this deck. It was like I said, it was an absolute powerhouse in its budget. Like even out of its budget, like this was a good deck. This was very well built and mean.
You can easily take out anyone that's interested in this deck or this deck list. You can easily take out like 6 to 8 cards, because some of them are like pet cards or things that I just want to do just for fun, sort of like the Oathbreaker, but overall, like I just wanted to keep it down to like close to $100 for a budget. So, because that's what when I make budget decks, that's what I strive for. It's around $100.
No,
so
that's feasible.
Yeah, and that way, like worst comes to worst, like something happens to it, you're not worried about losing it. Like it sucks, but if something happens to it, not a big deal. You're more willing to lend out a deck like this to friends, unlike Connor's Rasputin deck.
Yep.
So
where the commander itself was what, $350?
Yeah, Rasputin's nuts.
So crazy.
You'll hear how nuts Rasputin is in one of the gameplay videos.
Yeah. But yeah, like I strongly suggest people try playing with this commander. And you don't have to buy the Fallout deck for this. Like I just printed out a copy. I asked the guys like, hey, do you guys mind if I just play this? And once again, everyone's fine with it. You just proxy it. Nobody cares.
Well, and you'll eventually find one anyways, right?
Yeah. So like the set's not even out yet. That's why I had to print it out.
That's I love the same Urtet. I did the same with the mirror deck, where they made like the 5-color artifact mirror. It's like, well, I'm going to the printer in my room, and we're making one of these right now. It's Urtet o'clock, boys.
Sherman, I don't agree to this rule 0. Wait until the set comes out.
Yeah,
that would be a jerk move. I did that.
I hate that mentality. Like Daniel says to everybody, he just wants to play against the deck. He just wants to play against people's ideas and concepts, and money should not be a factor. If, we had a game last night where both Daniel and Connor dropped down Savannahs.
Yeah, that was really funny.
Oh my goodness.
I like that.
So, but like, it's not gonna, like if I want, I could like grab a proxy for a Savannah and no one's gonna care, right? But at the same time, that's not me. That's not my personality, right? This deck is my personality. Finding something that's, that I enjoy making a budget for it.
You might not want to say that. This deck's my personality. I like to sacrifice things.
Sacrifice.
though.
Sacrifice. No, it was a really cool deck.
It has everything. It has card draw, life gain. I'm taking your stuff.
I saw the Soul Attendant and the Soul War, and I was like, love it already. Love it. And Ellis.
You love your life gain.
I'm trying to step away, trying new stuff. We're exploiting here.
True.
But this deck needs the life gain. It needs the aristocrats, because it hurts people. Like the aristocrats are mainly there because, you need the life gain because most of your card draw is, you lose a life, you draw a card.
Yeah.
And you need to have things out there where if someone attacks you, and you block, and your creature's gonna die because you're gonna chump block, then you're gonna punish them in some way or another, right?
It would be really fun in here too. Throw Nelly Borka in so you could just goad or suspect everyone else's creatures, so they can't attack you. Just another form of, nah, you don't need to come over here.
I rebuilt Nelly Borka.
So did I.
Oh,
interesting. We should all impulsively accuse each other.
We should all Borka.
I think that would be a fun thing because I know for a fact Slothy said he rebuilt Nelly Borka as well.
I would play a 4-man Nelly Borka. That'd be really funny.
I think that'd be
everything's goaded, everything's attacking,
everything's suspected.
Yeah, everything's a little sus.
Do it for the memes.
This is fish.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good to end there. Anyone else have any comments about this deck?
No, I really enjoyed watching it go off. Even seeing Hoffrey, I know that's one of Sherman's commanders, face commanders, and I already fear that deck because when it goes silly, and just seeing this, you can take it, and then you can get them into spirits. And then you play the Oathbreaker, and you're like, now my spirits can't be targeted. They phase, and I keep your stuff.
That's why I have it in there. It's sort of like a secret partner commander.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. I love that pairing. It's great.
Yeah, like I said though, it's not gonna happen often, just because it's literally 2 cards.
But when it does,
yeah, but when it does, it's funny.
Oh, let me tell you.
And that's what I want. I want it to be memorable. I want it to be funny.
Yeah,
I was finally able to hit my Castle Vantress and a copy spell, so that was one of my things I was trying to hope for. Some dreams do come true.
I wouldn't know what that's like.
Yeah, that's my bad. I'm sorry, Daniel.
I wouldn't know.
I did pay for it for you milling half my deck.
I wouldn't know what that's like. All right. I'll end us there. Everyone, one sec. Where's my button? Thank you guys so much for listening. Again, if you like what we're doing, like, share, subscribe. It really helps us out. Give us a rating, 5-star positive review about how great this deck is and how you want to see it beat me, because it did. Let me tell you, it did beat me for sure. If you like our content, go over to intothe99.com. It's a great place for articles, for all of our content in one space. Pretty wonderful. If you want to, this is not a deck. You'd probably pay more to proxy this deck, to be honest, which is hilarious. But if you have expensive cards, go to abyssproxyshop.com, promo code IT99. You're going to get a little bit of a discount to pick up some of those more expensive cards. Maybe you want to make a token doubler version of this kind of deck, whatever it is. Go there. It also helps give us a little bit of a shout. And yeah, Patreon. It's a great spot to come chat, talk decks. There's going to be the amount of Magic stuff that's coming out. There's going to be lots of cool things about me talking about how much I love Bloom Burrows. So it'll be a pretty fun time. And yeah, come hang out there. It's like nothing. Keep the lights on here. You're killing us. That's it. I'm bleeding, man. I'm bleeding.
Peace, guys.
All right, later's all.
I just gotta let that song roll for a minute. I really like this one. It's a nice little Zen vibe. Everyone's just waiting to start the next episode, enjoying their drive or whatever they're doing at work. But we're still vibing. We're still here. It's a party with all of us. Just a little dance. But yeah, thanks everyone for listening.
Peace.